Good morning to wherever you are. Today we are going to be going through the patch notes for the 22nd of November, so the most recent update as we speak right now. Before we go to the patch notes, we're going to look at the golden party hat hunt. Obviously this is the party hat that we're all very excited for, that's coming as its 20th RuneScape's 20th anniversary year. Obviously we already have the old party hats, which are worth an absolute fortune, and hopefully this will be the next one in the list. It won't be valuable straight away, but it will certainly have value in the future, not to mention it looks pretty cool as well. So yeah, there are 11 shards in total. You can see how you get these. What does it say here? Check the golden party hat hunt interface to see how you can get more and track the ones you've already earned. Oh, and by the way, if you've joined Premier Club, you already have a head start with a bonus shard from us to say thanks. So again, another good reason to get the Premier Club 2022. This year's one does look very good. It's definitely worth it if you pay for membership for a year round anyway. Yeah, it's definitely a cost reduction on the membership alone. Sorry, excuse me. And all the perks, of course, as well. So you've got the FAQ page here. So Ironmans will be able to create their own hat, however they will not be able to trade it. Is leveling a skill necessary to gain a shard? Nope, you earn shards while training any skills, so just go about your regular activities. You know, so they've made it accessible to everybody. Will pro team items drop the shards? Yes. So there's many ways that you can get these. I just wanted to highlight this before we get to the patch notes, as it's quite a big deal. Really don't want to miss this if you're a RuneScape fan. It's definitely going to be worth getting your hands on the golden party hat. So moving on to the patch notes, Ninja Strike 28, pets and familiars is the first bit. So abyssal minion, baby basilisk, miniatries, baby curask. The Thaler cost for any extra copies of the above pets will be refunded. Improve the messaging when performing an erroneous action with a familiar's special attack. Improved overall messaging surrounding the fight functionality on legendary pets who can fight. Following objects from the Soul Wars minigame has been converted to follower pets on the interface. Pets that were recently converted from object pets to follower pets were missing sound effects. Text and animations that would trigger when the pet was active. This has now been fixed. So they've fixed a few issues with pets and familiars here. Changing a legendary pet's abilities while it's summoned will no longer stop it from doing random actions. That's good. Some updates to Menifos. Menifos city quests have new cooldown times based on your reputation tier. So having high reputation has never been more important for the cooldowns in the Menifos city quests. So that's a nice change. Double the base reputation gains. The city quest enhancer has been buffed. So yeah, there's some nice changes to the Menifos city reputation gains as well as the perks for having high reputation tiers. General cool and bug fixes. Fixed an issue where the cleave and sweep abilities were sharing the same cooldown. In order to combat this, the following has been implemented. A debuff icon has been added to show that the ability is on cooldown. Cleave remains on a 7.2 second cooldown. Sweep now has a 7 second cooldown. As a result of this, using sweep no longer puts cleave on cooldown and vice versa. So that's a nice change. That's a really nice change for everybody. The loot interface now has a settings button that will open the loot system settings interface. So that's a nice ease of access, quality of life change there as well. If you've got the loot interface open, you can access your loot system settings just with the press of a button. Added orichalcum salvage to the array of items that can be processed by the spring cleaner. This is a really nice one. Obviously orichalcum is dropping more and more from the new content. Many people have had a spring cleaner, but it doesn't have full use really in the new game now, so this is going to bring it back in a little bit. Hopefully in the future they're going to add the new salvages as well, like necronium and things like that. I think that'd be really cool. Maybe we'll see that with the final boss of God Wars 3, or maybe there'll be a boss in between. Hopefully that'll be very exciting. The money pouch will now show the total amount of coins gained when receiving multiple stacks of gold within a single game tick, instead of only the most recent amount received. This will be notable in situations such as area loot or collecting from grand exchange transactions. Okay, so that's a nice change too. The filterable messages in the chat box will still display the individual amounts received separately. The gear Siphon interface can now be used while in combat. However, using the Siphon counter to enter a custom amount will interrupt skilling and will itself be interrupted by combat. Okay. Iron Men accounts that unintentionally received lucky dip tickets from skilling activities in September have had these tickets removed. Okay, so that was obviously a mistake that was made that's been rectified. The description text of the invention task enhancer is now slightly more descriptive. Okay, all right. Removed restocking time from the skill cape shops in the Max Guild. Removed buy all option. Added the stock number for any skill capes. Okay. The Berserker, Maniacal, and Reckless auras have had their full effects added to their description within the aura interface. So this is good. Yeah, it didn't really tell you exactly what it did. And now they've well, fixed that entirely. They've made it so you can see exactly what those auras are going to do. Balancing Magma Tempest. So I think this is going to be a big one. Yeah, there's been a lot of feedback with the Magma Tempest being a bit OP. If you're combining it with Greater Chain and you have the Staff of Armadil and you pop the spec on that, this ability was critical strike, hitting critical strikes and basically popping off crazy damage. Because what's this say? Magma Tempest has a multi-hitting ability, synergizing incredibly well both with stat boost and critical strike modifiers, granting ridiculous levels of damage and adrenaline when paired with Tsunami and the Fractured Staff of Armadil. Because of this, we're removing its ability to critically strike, reducing the gap between critical magic builds and other combat styles, and lowering its top-end damage to make up for the huge bonus it gains from stat boosts. Okay, we'll continue to monitor these rewards and make any adjustments where necessary. So the simple message here is that the damage, Magma Tempest damage reduced from 5 to 25% per hit to 5 to 19%. So that it can't hit any lower, but it can't hit as high. Magma Tempest can no longer critically strike. This is a big one. I don't currently have a Staff of Armadil, but I'd imagine this is a big game changer for people, and I'm not sure it's going to be very well received. I understand things need to be balanced. So maybe it is the right move. If you want to see a proper breakdown, you can pause the screen here. I won't read all of this out. We'll scroll down and see what else is going on down here. The Scripture of Jazz is in an odd spot where it's more difficult to correctly use compared to the Scripture of Wen, while also capping how much of a benefit you can gain from it. As a result, we're raising the damage cap on the item in the hope it may better fill a niche for players utilizing a lot of damage over time effects that wouldn't be boosted by the Scripture of Full. Increase the damage cap for Scripture of Jazz 10k to 30k. So now the Scripture of Jazz can hit over 10k if you do enough damage in the time that it procs. That's a really nice change. That's a good idea, because they were planning on implementing changes for bleeds and burns, weren't they? And that it doesn't gain any extra damage from things like Berserk or just flat percentage damage increases. Increased drop rate on the resonant anima of Bic from skilling nodes in Sentistan. This is big because currently this anima is the most expensive by far. It's probably because it's the least gathered. It's probably it's not hard, but it's the hardest to get, I would say. So yeah, this is definitely a nice change here. And of course, mining and woodcutting nodes now reward guaranteed anima on successful resource gather, so it's going to be a lot cheaper to get now. The particles that appear on the core underneath Croceus are now red, blue, and yellow in order to help with color blindness. Okay. Fiction issue that prevented Tempest of Armadil from dealing additional hits to nearby targets when combined with Greater Chain. Okay, so there's more fixes, more changes going on here. Fiction issue where the oddment store would not stay open when open from the treasure hunter. So this is basically just this is just the other tab. This is just minor changes, although this one at the beginning is definitely a nice one. But that about sums up the video, guys. This was, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is the patch notes video for the 22nd of November. Yeah, if you like to see patch note updates, bang on time, just give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. We do this every week on a Monday. If you have any requests for future video ideas or want help with anything, please leave a comment down below and I will get to work on that as soon as possible. Once again, guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.